Hey, they continue to roll with Daniel Jones under center after squeezing out a win on Sunday against the Cardinals to keep Indy atop the AFC with a 5-1 record. Colts head coach Shane Steichen had some high praise for his quarterback after the game.
Yeah, he's pretty calm. I think he's got laser focus. He's locked in. I think it's his preparation. You know, a lot of you guys have heard me say that, but his preparation that he puts in during the week, like when you're prepared like the way he does, right, you don't blink. Like you go out and you have confidence in your ability because you know you put in the work like he does. And when you put in the work like that and you go execute like he's been doing and the guys are making plays around him and the O-line's blocking, it's fun as a coach to watch.
It's a brand new Daniel Jones in Indy. Graz, is this sustainable for the Colts to stay atop the AFC?
To the extent that anything is in the NFL, yeah, if he stays healthy, Daniel Jones, which has been the most significant issue he's had in his career, staying healthy. If Jonathan Taylor stays healthy, if that line stays together, it's an offense that seems to be built for Daniel Jones to distribute the ball and have success. Shane Steichen has constructed something that leans into Daniel's strengths, minimizes his weaknesses. It's what good offensive coaches do. And the way Jonathan Taylor is running, I think it's the kind of thing that could sustain itself. We've seen it go up against good defenses. They just look kind of the same every week. It's operating almost on autopilot.
Yeah, I do think Daniel Jones can keep this up because of the infrastructure. But when folks ask me, like, what is it about the Colts this year that you really believe in? I just go back to the run game. Jonathan Taylor having an unbelievable season. Yeah. But I would argue that the left side of the Colts offensive line, and this was really stark in this last game, Raymond, Quentin Nelson, the left guard, and then Bortoloni, who's new at center. They're playing as well. They're blocking as well as any three offensive linemen in football right now. It was mostly zone runs, but the big pin-pull run, I was shocked by how fast, how far upfield Quentin Nelson got. He has been unreal this year. That offensive line is legit, and they will continue to be legit, and I am not questioning this team because of them in that run game moving forward.
The run game with motion this past weekend was absolutely sensational. It hasn't been something they've done great this year. I want to see if they'll do it more. I agree with everything said about Daniel Jones. I would say this past game was the game for the first time this year that looked like old Daniel Jones. Threw a very poor interception, should have thrown another with not seeing the defense. So hopefully that's the lesser and the aberration rather than a foreshadowing of what's to pay attention to. Just keep your eye on that. I really like Warren and Josh Downs for this offense. We don't talk about Josh Downs enough when it comes to how much he impacts this football team. Tyler Warren, we've given Egbuka Offensive Rookie of the Year, justifiably so. Warren is going to be very much so worthy of that decision. Josh Downs as a slot receiver, we talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown, rightfully so. This guy is tied in the NFL for receptions. He's 7th in yards. He's 2nd in those slot receptions, converting first downs, only behind Amon-Ra St. Brown. So to Graz's point, that ball distribution, this young man has become one of the best slot receivers in the league.
Yeah, Tyler Warren, who you mentioned, 370 receiving yards this season, the third most among rookies and most among tight ends. Mina, go ahead.
Yeah, no, one thing I like about the nature of this offense is that even if Daniel Jones does turn the ball over, Dan's right, it was an issue in this game. They have the kind of players who can settle him, players who get you yards after the catch. He does not have to force the ball downfield in this offense for them to be successful, and obviously the run game is part of that as well.
Yeah, coming up, they have the Chargers, the Titans, the Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs, Texans. I mean, you can look at that and say there's some wins and maybe some losses in there too, but either way.